technology are changing the face of healthcare and creating opportunities for entrepreneurship across the board. At the forefront of this transformation are women led companies that are embracing innovation and making important contributions to the fields like consulting, patient experience, and telemedicine. At Medicircle, we present to you the top women entrepreneurs of the healthcare series, where we are featuring the women entrepreneurs of healthcare who are influential role models to share their views about the future of the healthcare industry. Hi, I'm Smita Kumar, and today in the series, we are going to welcome Gauri Shingote. Gauri Shingote is the Chief Executive Officer at Juvenate Wellbeing Private Limited, which is a healthy lifestyle focused company whose mission is to provide education in the basics of nutrition and healthy living to all. Gauri is an experienced clinical nutritionist, skilled in dietetics, fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle management, and has been associated with many eminent organizations in the past. Hi, Gauri. Welcome to Medicircle.
Hi, Smita. Thank you for having me.
Most welcome, Gauri. So to begin with, because we want to know about your entrepreneurial journey. So what is your contribution, especially to the healthcare industry as an entrepreneur?
Well, the entrepreneur journey for everyone is an ardent one where everybody talks about the struggle and the dreams and the aspirations. Our journey has a similar story, and basically our journey started about 25 years ago with a dream of alleviating malnutrition from India, and also changing the face of lifestyle diseases and the future of our children. So taking this into aspect, the journey through clinical nutrition, through community nutrition, going through multiple focus studies, and going through societal norms. As we realize, it was not about just creating awareness or education for children or parents or teachers or the general citizen. It was also about creating or reverting back to our old traditional methodologies of eating. It was also about understanding or going back to the basics of beliefs and the value systems that we had in the past, especially when it came down to the traditional foods that we ate. And we realized that there is a big influence of the foods that we eat, even in today's living that we do. However, with so much going on, people lose track of their health, or that becomes sidelined. And that was one of the biggest focus that we had in terms of, like I said, alleviating malnutrition in terms of overnutrition, in which we see it as obesity in the urban areas, and also undernutrition, which is still a predominant factor when you talk about nutrition in India, and primarily in children. Taking this basic premise that we wanted to, change the outlook of child nutrition in India, we created and developed a very simple to do, simple activity based education system based on curriculum that was focused on ensuring children from the age of 3 onwards learned about the basics of nutrition, about healthy habits, and about choosing good foods, or making better food choices. Like I said, the premise comes from alleviation. That's the long-term dream. However, it also comes with that basic dream of changing mindsets of how we think about food. And with this program, where we've been doing this in private schools for approximately 3.5, 4 years now, and we realized that children was so involved in some of the activities that we've done around nutrition and healthy habits, that they started to influence the food or the household purchasing when it came to nutritiously relevant foods.
That's good.
And this we realized that this was not just, it could not just be a child-centric program. It had to be a holistic program. So in the development of that program, we also have multifaceted, modules where we target the parents through our parent awareness program. So they are also aware of what is being taught in the classroom to their child. And we also talk to the teachers. We have, based on the new national education policy, we also have a teacher training program that focuses on the delivery of nutrition in the classroom. So it becomes a holistic solution. So our journey basically went, we are a startup. We started approximately four and a bit years ago. And we are where we are with our completed nutrition program, which we deliver in private schools. We are also in talks and trying to get inroads with with government, state government, and national government to have this be delivered in the school system, in the government school systems. So we're touching every single child for their future. So things like, when we talk about diabetes, India is the diabetes capital of the world, or, cardiac disease, hypertension, these are so predominant in our country. But if we start teaching our children early on, where we teach them 2 plus 2 and they know 2 plus 2 is 4, even when they're 90, it's the same premise where we start teaching them early about very basics of food. And we can interrelate it to everything else that learning, because food is such a personal thing to everybody from a very young age. So that's where we've come across. And now we've been on the journey to work with governments as well. However, in the last 1 year, because of COVID and the pandemic, we've had a little slight derailment, but we're coming back onto that track and working with the private sector as well as hopefully the government sector soon.
That's great to know. So, Gauri, entrepreneurship has its own struggles, and being a woman entrepreneur adds to it. So, but what do you think are the advantages? Not actually always asking the struggles. This time, we are asking about the advantages of being a woman entrepreneur.
Well, I'll be very honest with you. Considering my upbringing, I have never been brought up thinking that being a woman, or I've never thought of it as a disparity to be a woman. I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to be brought up in a household where there was no such disparity. So I personally don't see myself, see this as a disadvantage or an advantage situation. I feel that work is work, and there's so much of work to be done. However, I will say this, I am in a industry, nutrition industry, which is dominated by women. So, I mean, in my experience, majority of the nutritionists and dietitians that you meet and talk with are women. So, actually, I find that as an advantage as an entrepreneur, because my team predominantly is women, and I also think this is a disadvantage to the other side on the other side of the coin, where we know we can bring in an integration and have an inclusive business where ideas are shared from every angle, and from everybody has their own thoughts and ideas. And when you have a collaborative team with coming from different backgrounds, and it makes a big difference in the overall product that comes out, or the overall product program that is delivered. I mean, if you look at it, nutrition really has no disparity. There is no, everybody eats, regardless of your gender, regardless of your age, everybody eats. So we want to make nutrition the focus of an inclusive thing. And I think the biggest advantages that I have found in terms of my entrepreneurial journey has been the compassion. My team, like I said, is predominantly women. So the compassion we bring together really spearheads the passion we have towards child nutrition and the bigger dream of alleviating malnutrition. And I think also, like I said, it also gives us a focus on not creating disparity and probably having more um, inclusivity from the other half that's not here, you
Yes,
know. So actually I think those are the advantages I have right now, where we can change a lot of things.
surely. So one quick one here. What has been the biggest challenge and the biggest motivation in your journey?
uh, I when I look back on how we've come through so far, I mean, we're still, like I said, we're a startup. We've done our projects, we're doing so many things. However, I think the biggest challenge that I see is achieving that dream in a scaled position. So, how do I put this? The numbers are huge. India is massive. There is diversity in culture, there is diversity in language, there are diversity in traditional foods that we eat from each region. So, taking all that into account, I think that has been one of the biggest challenges that we've had, is the scaling of it to make sure that we reach every corner of our country, and to make sure that no child is left behind in terms of gaining that basic knowledge that would definitely help them in their future, in terms of creating a healthier future for themselves.
Surely.
So I think having that magnitude and achieving that is a challenge, but we're definitely working towards it. And with the demand we've been getting from governments of Madhya Pradesh and governments of Karnataka, we believe that are going to reach that challenge and surpass it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So,
And the motivation, I mean, if you ask me about the motivation, I think it's every day. It's every day coming in, knowing that we're making a change, and that small sustainable change, because it's all about sustainability in that change that gives you a positive result. And that's what we're looking at. We really want to be the, we want the nutrition community to come together, healthcare industry to come together, to understand that this is going to be education in nutrition and healthy habits. Those slight changes in behavioral patterns, those slight changes in your mindset, are going to achieve a huge, or have a huge impact, not just on the health of our country, but also invariably, I feel, the economy. Because once you reduce healthcare cost, you definitely have a higher impact on the economy and the earning capabilities of the citizens.
yes,
So that is my motivator. I mean, every day we come in thinking we're going to change the world.
that's great. So thank you so much, Gauri, for joining us for this Woman Entrepreneur series. I think you guys are doing a really commendable job, because I think you're trying to
Thank
change
you.
the mindsets from grassroots levels. Like every time we say that India is like the diabetes capital, or the most of the cardiovascular diseases are happening here, there are a lot of lifestyle diseases which can be eradicated right from the grassroots level. Like the children, most of them are actually binging on these junk foods and other things. If they are taught right from the beginning that this is the food you should be eating and this is the good eating habits, I think
Exactly.
you can
Mhm.
make a definitely healthier and a better India. So I mean, all the best for all
Absolutely.
your future endeavors. I
Thank you.
really congratulate you for this good job of yours, and may you reach to more and more schools, I mean, in all states of India, so that each
Thank you.
child can think of this, that yes, this is the right food to eat. And through the child, the parents and other things also can, I mean, the whole community can change the way they think, and we take our, I mean,
Right.
we should be starting taking our food more seriously.
Yes, thank you so much. I mean, I think you wrapped it up very nicely. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
So once again, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.